And welcome to this episode of the Dodger and Trash podcast. I am Dodger Man, and I got Trash over here. And joining us is a YouTube streamer or Twitch streamer. I'm a wreck today. Sorry. And president of the Ray Langford fan club, we have RicksterGhost joining us. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
I'm
chilling.
Good. Well, I wouldn't say I'm good, but we'll get into that. So I gotta tell you this little story. So I fell asleep one night watching, I think it was like a Magunsky YouTube video, and I have it on autoplay, so it just plays the next video and the next video, and I wake up to one of your videos, and you're talking about how you were doing a stand-up show in like Illinois or Indiana or something like that, and you kind of bombed because you didn't read the room right or something, and you pissed off some people with some of your material. So just to kind of get everyone to give everyone some background about you, you were a stand-up comedian at one time.
I don't know if I would call myself a stand-up comedian. I have done stand-up in the past. I've probably been on a stand-up stage less than 50 times. So I think that anyone that's a true stand-up comedian would say, "Oh, you're not a stand-up comedian." So I wouldn't consider myself a stand-up comedian, but I've dabbled in stand-up comedy before. Yeah.
Is that something you'd like to try again? Part-time?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to get back into it. It's fun. It's a rush that I don't think I've ever felt before, and it's just it's so scary that it's kind of exciting to me, mm-hmm. And I'm not happy with myself that I quit doing it. So it just became too much. It was difficult to get up there, and I'm definitely going to do it again. Like after I get my YouTube where I want it to go and stuff, I haven't stopped writing jokes. I still have a book with tons of jokes in it that aren't finished yet. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing stand-up comedy again, and someday hopefully I can consider myself a stand-up comedian.
Okay. I really wish I lived closer, because I would love to see you on stage, because I just think you're hilarious. In fact, let me read you this. Trash tweeted out about a week ago. He said, "In my opinion, the most underrated MLB The Show content creator has to be It's Ricky Miller. Man is funny AF. Looking forward to having him on the Dodger Trash Show." And I couldn't agree more with that. You are, in my opinion, one of the most underrated content creators out there. You don't get enough credit for the amount of humor that you put into your videos. I really enjoyed the one you did on Halloween where you turned yourself into a zombie.
Yeah. And
you said your wife did the makeup for that?
Yeah, she it took like 3 hours to get it all on. Yeah, she did it, and that was the first time she ever did anything like that. So I think we can get a little more practice in, and someday, maybe next Halloween or the Halloween after that, we'll have a costume that's 100% legit. But I mean, for the first time, she absolutely killed it. It looked badass.
Yeah, it really did. Did you see that video, Trash?
I did not.
You call yourself a fan. just.
Well, no, I also want to say I do appreciate that. I saw that tweet you sent out, Trash, too, and I do appreciate that. Thank you, man.
I got you.
Guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is something we've looked forward to the whole week. I mean, you were nice enough to draft my BR team, which I failed miserably at the second game I played. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I hopefully in MLB The Show 21 you can do that for me again, and hopefully I'll have a better run. I know now not to trust anyone who says I need 6 walks, or I need to be walked 6 times to accomplish this mission I'm on. I'm like, yeah, right, okay. No,
Yeah, don't deal with those guys. Those guys
no,
are bad.
yeah, that's right. Um, so I know what you mean about being on stage. It's kind of a rush to be on stage, because this is my umpteenth time of saying that I've done local theater in town here, but the closest I can get to is actually, when I'm streaming, I feel like I'm kind of on a stage, more or less.
Oh yeah.
There's other people watching me, and stuff. But yeah, it is such a rush, and I've done a little bit of improv, and that is like the most fun I've had. If there's anyone out there that hasn't done improv, I highly recommend it. It is a lot of fun, and
Getting laughs to me is something I've always enjoyed. Like nothing makes me happier. The amount of endorphins that I released in my brain when I make someone laugh it's ridiculous.
it's
Sickening a little bit. It's a little crazy, but
yeah.
it's just it's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
There's nothing like hearing an audience laugh at your material. Yeah, I was kind of a stand-up comedian in high school, and that's one thing that was like a drug. I heard that, and I was like, I got to do that more. So
Yeah, no, it is, and that's how I've always been. Even before I did stand comedy, I was in bands before, so I had stage experience before that, and I've just always been the entertainer, man. Like I remember when I was in school, I would always get in trouble for just saying inappropriate things and to make people laugh, and it's just something that's stuck with me my whole life. And now I'm on YouTube saying inappropriate things that make people laugh. So I mean, it's a full circle.
yeah, and you do a great job at it too. um, so I've been thinking about what to talk about, and yeah, I'm just having a rough day. I mean, and we'll go over this. We talked a little bit before the podcast started about this. Maybe Trash can help out a little bit. But yeah, I just had a rough day on the game today. I mean, with as many hours as I put in at work, I don't get as much time on the game as I would like. And so I might be a little rusty when I get back on. But it's like my PCI placement is nowhere near it where I want it to be, or where it has been. And it's like my timing's all screwed up. It took me until 1 o'clock in the morning to get that Finest Bellinger card. And when I finally got it, I was going to do my debut on it today. I could not hit. Well, I hit a few balls, but there was like one line drive. I got 0 base hits with him. In 9 at bats, I'm batting 000. And Trash did say that's kind of like what he's doing with Henry Aaron. No, Willie Mays. I'm sorry, Willie Mays. Of course, he had to flex there because he just made World Series this week. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you've dealt with that before, right, Rick?
I deal with that every day. I'm kind of competitive at nature, so I would love to be a competitive player in this game, but I'm just I'm not, man. I'm super bad at this game, and it's bad. Yeah, and I get those frustrated. That's why I haven't picked up the game. I recorded a video Thursday night for Friday's video, which was the collab series game 4 against Yayo Gaming. Mm-hmm. I played that game Thursday. That was the last time I played the game, just because I'm not going to pick it up again until tonight when I do Subscriber Sunday. So it's like I just need a couple days break, and just I don't know. It's a fun game. We all love it, and no matter how horrible we do, we're still going to play the game just because we love baseball so much. And this is like this is our option for playing video games and baseball at the same time. But when you say your troubles you're having, I know exactly what you're talking about. It gets frustrating at times, and sometimes we just need to walk away.
Yeah. It seems like I do that Monday through Friday because I just don't have time to play the game. I come home from work, it's like 6:30, sometimes maybe even 6:45, and I get home and I'm just so exhausted. I just go in the bedroom and lay down next to the wife and watch one of your videos and watch Kevin or watch Cougs, and then I'm out. Have you seen the collab that Rickster did with Yayo Trash?
I did.
Well, okay, I'm going to talk about something. Hopefully, it's not a sore subject still, but that squeeze play, man. That squeeze play. Are you still a little salty about that?
In all reality, when my approach to making videos is I care way more about content than I do anything that can happen in the game. So if when it happened, when he hit me with the squeeze, I literally didn't see it coming. I didn't think it was a possibility, and there was a part of me that was like, "This mother effer." Can I cuss?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was like, "This motherfucker." At the end of the day, after I stopped hitting that record button, me and Yayo talked that night. I have it's about priorities with me, and I'm glad that he did that suicide squeeze because it created a moment in the video. And I mean, it's been days later, and we're talking about it now, so it's like I couldn't be more happier that he did that. And there's absolutely no hard feelings. But when the video's going and I'm recording, I'm gonna talk a little shit because that's the narrative he decided to do when he dropped down that squeeze play.
Yeah. Who's next up in the collab series?
So as of right now, tomorrow when I wake up, I have to edit a video that we recorded on Friday, a pack opening video. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to reach out to a couple people. I have a list of names, like you're on it, Dodger Man.
Yeah.
I'm just a list of names of guys that have agreed to do the collab series with me. And I'm just going through and I'm picking a couple names here and there and say, hey, and are you available to record sometimes this week for next game? But as of right now, I think the next game might be Gomes. Because he was talking to me and he was ready to get it going. He's got his team ready and my team's ready. So I think tomorrow he'll be the first guy I reach out to. Hopefully get that recorded on Tuesday or Wednesday. Have it out by Thursday.
Okay, that should be a good one. He's got I'm sure he's got a all-time Minnesota Twins squad all lined up.
He's going with the Rays, man. He's a huge Rays fan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, he's a Rays fan but lives in Minnesota. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. He's got all those 2020 postseason cards too, so it's gonna be another tough game. I don't expect to win many of these games against these other content creators. People that watch my videos don't come for gameplay; they come for comedy, and that's the value that I bring. Because when you're doing YouTube and you want to be successful in a YouTube channel, you have to bring some sort of value, whether it be top-notch gameplay, whether it be information about the game on how to get good cards, or if you suck at all that, you can just always fall back on comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. What level of difficulty do you feel most comfortable playing on in those games?
I'm kind of in the middle of an epiphany right now when it comes to this game. Most of the games that I play are on all-star difficulty because I'm not good enough to get past 700 and stay past 700. So the majority of the games I'm playing are on all-star difficulty, and I've had so many people tell me that Hall of Fame difficulty is the best difficulty to play on. It's easier in the sense that it's more consistent, especially when it comes to pitchers and stuff. So I think, I'm going to start playing a lot more on Hall of Fame difficulty right now just to get better at the game and have it be more enjoyable.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that because
unfortunately, I have to play on All-Star most of the time though because I can't stay above 700.
Well, and I can't remember what difficulty we played on last year, but I could not hardly do anything. I think the best I did was I hit a ball in the gap with Mike Piazza. Your center fielder made a diving attempt, and he caught it off the ground or whatever, and okay. I was like, I can't believe that didn't get past him, and I made some sort of bonehead play where I rounded second, and you nailed me at second, and I got tagged out. I was like, I was like, I can't get a break, and sure enough, you shut me out 7-0. So yeah, I'm.
Which is bad because I'm horrible at this game.
Well, if Jim Edmonds just kills me, no matter what card, or Jim Edmonds has, he just goes off on me, and I think that was the case in that video. I think he hit like 2 home runs, and yeah, I still have nightmares about it. But no, so help me out, Trash. I feel like I'm dominating the conversation again.
I'm always here.
You're always here. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's hear from the guy with the Cubs shirt on.
Let's hear about your World Series. Let's talk about your World Series game, Trash.
Just the game or the whole entire run?
The whole entire run. Did you have any sweaty games in there?
The whole, in my opinion, in all the games I've played, nothing but sweats, nothing but tryhards. It was difficult. I think on one stream I played at least 3 World Series games. Like, I'd lose my World Series game, and then I'd win the next game. Every time I made it to the big game, I couldn't get the job done. Now, going into the one that actually got it, the only pitcher I had with full energy was Bob Gibson. And I was scared only because I knew he wasn't as good as some of my other guys. Like, I think I had Finest Bieber. I could have thrown in Finest Lamet, Kluber, Paxton, my other guys. And surprisingly, he went, I think, at least 8 innings and really only gave up 1 run. Yes, the box score says 2. But, I mean, he got jammed on an inside fastball and it was late on it and got a little mini blooper. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thankfully, I think I won that game 5-2. Okay. But I was scared, especially knowing. The thing is with that stuff, like if you can't hit, then you're kind of screwed. Yeah. Same thing with pitching. If you can't pitch, you're screwed. They go hand in hand. If you can't do one or the other, you're screwed. You have to be able to do both and able to be successful. And I got nervous because when it comes to pitching for me, I tend to, okay, let's say he's, like, lunging at a changeup. I'm gonna keep giving it to him until he can prove to me that he can hit it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that game, I was able to locate that inside fastball, not that frustration high and in, just in the inner half. Mm-hmm. He was he either chopped it or he struck out on every time. I was able to sprinkle in a slider and got him chasing on that too. But just going back and thinking about that game, me as the person controlling Gibson, I was able to really locate my pitches. Like, I've never been able to locate as good as I did. And with Gibson, for me, I'm known for missing my spots with Gibson. That's why I think he's my 5th starter in my rotation, is where I have him at. Granted, he had like a 6 ERA, but I was nervous because I was looking at the guy's record, and he wasn't that good. So I'm like, okay, let's play it out and we'll see what happens. Was able to start hitting, and once I got hitting, everything started clicking, and I set myself up to win that game, and I won that game. And now, the one thing that really made me nervous is, I think that same day, my first game I loaded up, I think I was, 883? I know it was 880 something. But the first guy I match up with is Suni. And I'm like, no. Thankfully, he was streaming, and he was willing to give me a friendly, and I'm like, oh, thanks. But yet again, I go back to that thing where I said, I go to the World Series game and I lose. Yep, sure enough, made the World Series game and lost. So it's going to be up and down, and it was so frustrating, but I was able to just sit down, play normal, and just play my best. I think what really hurt me is I was listening to other people and their opinions. Like, I had a couple guys say, oh, pitch Lamet, do that. And I do think that played a factor. Do I think that cost me the game ultimately? No. But I think if you just stay and play how you play, believe in your skills, and just play the game like you would, you're going to be fine.
Okay. So tell me about when you did make World Series. Oh, are you?
He's gone.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It's live. You can't help it. Anyway.
Man.
So okay. How? I need some advice. I need to start having fun in this game. I don't know. It just seems like every time I play, I just want to throw my controller, which you did in one of your most recent videos. Your spare controller.
Yeah, the backup. So I don't have to break it.
Yeah, don't throw the good controller. Always have a backup. I have a backup actually down here too. Yeah. So yeah, do you have any advice you can give me just to have, just so I could have fun in this game again, and not get so upset?
I don't know, man. I think the best advice that I could probably give you would be to just play the CPU on Veteran.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
it's the only because, dude, I have the same problems you do. You have, Dodger. Like I'm in the same boat. We need to find a guy that can give us some advice that would actually help us. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, dude. I'm garbage at this game. I know I'm above average. My record is, it's about, it stays around 30 games above 500, but it's like, I don't know. It's not. I know the mistakes I make, and for some reason, no matter how hard I try, I cannot correct those mistakes.
Yeah,
baseball's a tricky sport, dude.
It is. And well, see, I was playing a Conquest game today after I did that, and I was like, well, maybe I can just relax and work on some Conquest on the new Turkey one. I haven't even played it until today, and right. I'll get some games in, and maybe I'll start to figure out Belly Swing. And
you'll get it.
Yeah. Well, I play the Cubs, of course, and I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Ian Happ. It's like 0-0 in the second inning. Ian Happ gets up and just hits a bomb to left field, and they go up 1-0. And I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like tossing my controller up in the air, like, oh shoot, and. I get up in the third inning, and I have Corey Seager leading off, so the pitcher spot came up. I pinch hit with I put in Randy Arozarena, and as a pinch hitter, he got a single, and Corey Seager hit a 2-run home run. So I'm like, okay, I got this now. And sure enough, I won the game. But it was like, even the commentator said, well, the Dodgers win, even though they only got 4 hits in the game. I'm like, oh yeah, Matt, just kick me when I'm even more down than I am right now.
That's why I turned Matt Vasgersian off. I turned all the commentators off at the beginning of last year's game. I haven't heard commentators in the game in so long.
Yeah. Oh, I should do that. But see, you have that gift of gab. I can't just talk and stuff and do as good of commentary. That's something that I need to work on. Heck, I can't even get through a podcast without stuttering and saying about 2 or 3
if I released one of my videos
like
unedited,
but
it's bad.
And I forgot what I was going to ask you now, Trash. Thanks for...
Yeah, sorry, the mom wanted to make the podcast, apparently. It was totally unexpected. I'm like, whoa, got busy here.
Now I know what I was going to ask you. So tell me about that game when you did make World Series, that last out. How did you feel? That had to have been a good feeling.
I'll be honest, I believe it was a fly ball to Mantle. I know it was a fly ball, and as I'm coming in, I'm literally sitting here like, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it, over and over. I kept saying that until I actually made the final catch. Now, I had one of my buddies in chat, and he's like, no, watch you get 6 points. And I'm like, dude, if I get 6 points, I'm literally coming to find you, and I'm hunting you down. Thankfully, I got 60, and I'm like, oh, and my heart was like, oh. I finally made it. And then, of course, my brother had to come in, and then I think he was doing something. I freaking bolted out of here and just started, quote-unquote, bragging. He's like, yeah, stop bragging. I'm like, it's not really bragging. It's more of, like, me being happy I made it kind of thing. And, like, I wasn't trying to brag. I mean, come on. It's been, what, 2 years that I've been playing DD? I mean, I've been playing the game since, I think, like, MLB 14. Way back in those days. But those were days where I was, like, maybe 5-6 years old playing that game with my dad and brother and whatnot. So it wasn't until 18 that I actually started playing Diamond Dynasty. Granted, that game wasn't good to begin with. Didn't start off too high. I think I was below 500 pretty much the entire year. 19, I was able to pick it up, and 20 was the year that I just kind of put everything on the line, really put time into the game, trying to improve my skills. Now, granted, it's going to be a bumpy road, but just to have that feeling that you've accomplished something that you've been trying to do for 2 years, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. Right. It's even, not to brag or anything, but it is even a greater feeling to go 12-0 and go make World Series within, I think, even it might be, I think, a 2-week period, but let alone in the same year. I mean, I personally don't know many people that have done that.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing feeling. Is
this the first time you've made World Series, Trash?
Ever, yeah.
Oh, well, congratulations, man. There you go.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Trash. I inadvertently unplugged my headset, so I didn't hear that first part. I'm like, I can't hear him. What's going on? And I see Ricky nodding his head, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, now I'm plugged in. I tell you, this has not been my day. It has not been my day. But I'm sure everything got recorded, so I'll have to go back and listen to what you said. But you'll hear me going like, what? I can't hear him. What's going on? So, yeah, people are going like...
I think... Excuse me. I think I did record that game. I sent it over to a buddy to edit. I'm still debating if I want to put it up on YouTube yet. Don't really know. I also don't know where he's at on the whole editing thing, so I'll have to check back on him with that.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. You might see it on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see that.
Always choose to throw it up on YouTube. Always. Never could hurt.
That's true.
Yeah. So, there really hasn't been anything going on this week. Well, did any of you watch the fight last night with the whole Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.?
No, I watched the UFC fight night instead.
So you watched it, Ricky. How did you like it?
I thought it was good. I mean, it was mostly a rap concert for the most part throughout the whole thing, which I didn't expect. But I mean, there were some good performances. As far as the fights go, I'm not a big fan of Jake Paul. I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like the guy. But I would have loved to see him get knocked out. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, the guy is going to be a boxer, man. I mean, more power to him, if he's going to make that move and stuff. But in regards to the Tyson and fight, the guy's mean as shit, man. He's still rocking and rolling, and obviously they called it a draw. That makes sense. I understand why they would do that. There's no point in not doing that. But it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be. And hearing the rules before the fight started, and even before the day, where it was like more of a heavy sparring and no knockouts allowed. For a second, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be even worth my time to watch. But then as the card was going on, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's no way that Mike Tyson, there's no way they're going to get in here and not beat the shit out of each other. So, yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight.
Has time been good to him? And does Mike still have the speed? There's no way he still has the speed. Right?
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, you would be shocked. You would be shocked. He was lighting the guy up, dude. Like for sure, 100%. It was impressive. Of course, he doesn't have like late '90s Mike Tyson speed, but for a 54-year-old man, it was impressive. I think he surprised a lot of people.
Wow. Huh. I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Huh.
Check it out if you get a chance. I'm sure there's some clips of it on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
He's There was points of the fight where it didn't look like two 50-year-olds fighting, which I didn't expect, and the whole thing went the whole time limit. So I think it was worth the money. I was worried about it being a cash grab, which it was. It was still a cash grab, and they made a ton of money off of it. But it was a damn good fight. Yeah, I'm glad I watched it.
Are you a fan of wrestling at all? Professional wrestling?
Me and wrestling have such a off again relationship. I was a huge wrestling fan back 95, 96, 97, and then 98. I was just straight WCW. I was a huge WCW guy. And then 99, I started watching WWF just because I saw what Stone Cold was doing on there. And I was like, you know what, maybe WWF's better. And then I fell in love with WWF. I was a huge wrestling fan until like 2001, 2002. It just once they bought WCW, there was no more point for them to make their product any better. Their product became very stale, so I kind of quit watching it, and then I got back into it recently, and then I quit watching it, and then I got back into it, and I quit watching it. I want to like wrestling more than I can stand it. I can't. When I watch what they put on TV right now, I can't stand it. It makes me sick. But at heart, I'm a wrestling fan, so it's I don't know where to go with it. It's just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, we watched the Survivor Series last week, and we talked about it with Tiz Meeks about it, and I think the majority of us were overall disappointed by it. I mean, when you just when you don't have fans there, and you have to like have fake fan noise and stuff, it just kind of loses something. And plus, let me ask you this, Trash, because this is something I forgot to bring up. It seems like after every show, I'll go in the bedroom and like, man, I forgot to talk about this. This is one thing I wanted to talk about, and then I completely forgot. But the 24/7 belt. I think they need to get rid of that because I think that is the most ridiculous title in wrestling. What do you think, Trash? Because I talked to Tiz Meeks about it in his stream, and he got a little defensive about it. He said he liked it. He thought it was entertaining and stuff, but I think it's just ridiculous.
Me personally, it was introduced basically as a resurface of the Hardcore Championship. Which, granted, it was fine. But to be honest, I do agree it's a little ridiculous, and it's what R-Truth has had it for like at least almost 50 times already. Mm-hmm. It's for me, it's basically a joke. Yeah. I mean, come on, he'll ruin segments that were actually leading to something bigger, or he'll come out the most random times. Now, granted, I like it in certain spots where I think it should happen. But, I mean, if you're going to do something with it, let other people get it, even if it's for, like, a brief second. Mm-hmm. For me, it's just causing chaos. Yeah. Granted, I love R-Truth, but, I mean, come on.
Well, and
it's not worth it.
Yeah, and do you remember, Rickster, there was one Survivor Series where they had this big egg, and Mean Gene Okerlund was introducing what they call the gobbledygooker. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, he came flying through the wall and landed on his head, and his mask fell off.
Yeah, well, they brought it back. They brought back the gobbledygooker last week at Survivor Series, and and I'm like, this is probably one of the most hated characters by wrestling fans, and they brought it back, and I'm thinking, are you guys just like flat out of ideas or something in your creative department?
I think that's what it is. I think, like I said, I've always loved wrestling, and it's always got a place in my heart, and I'll always enjoy it. But I think the product that WWE is putting on TV right now is just overproduced garbage. To be honest with you, man. Yeah. It's really hard for me to get behind it, and then you take the whole crowd out of it, and it just becomes even more difficult for me personally to get behind it. And then you got all the screens with the people on it, and then if you're kind of, wrestling fans, we've seen a million wrestling matches. Sometimes when we watch wrestling matches nowadays, we're just looking at other stuff because we've seen all this stuff before a million times. And when I see all these screens, I see like a big move happen, and then all the screens cut to a different reaction, and it's like, that's even fake, that's pre-recorded. It's overproduced to me. And when AEW starts to actually knock on WWE's back door and actually threaten their livelihood, I think that's the only time this product is going to get better. because once, like I said earlier, once WWF bought out WCW, they had no more competition. They didn't have to push any boundaries anymore. They played it safe. And that's when it got boring to me. So I think, for me personally, I could probably get back into wrestling once AEW really starts to threaten WWE's livelihood, and they have to kind of go to war and try new things and stand out from each other, which I hope happens. I don't know. I would like wrestling to be better than it is.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of your background a little bit, Rickster. You talked to me one day about your previous occupation, working for Anheuser-Busch, and then I see that you're going to quit your job and stream full-time, be a full-time content creator, YouTube and Twitch. That had to be just a scary move for you.
It is. Actually, it wasn't Anheuser-Busch. It was a locating company.
Oh, okay.
It located gas lines and stuff.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So it was one of those things where kind of I was in this, and this is before I started my YouTube channel. I was in this this cycle of just getting to bed at 10 p.m., waking up at 5:30 in the morning, driving to work, being at work until 4 or 5, 5:36 sometimes, coming home from work, spending time with my family, which is only about 4 or 5 hours tops. And then that it was my life. And then, which is fine. I mean, that's a lot of people's lives, but the raises weren't coming. And I've tried YouTube several times in the past. All of them failed because I didn't really do it the right way, which I did this time, I feel like. And I just, I was like, you know what, YouTube, I'm going to start making videos finally. I'm going to take it serious. I'm going to get into this MLB The Show community because, if you want to grow on YouTube, you got to find a little niche to get into. And I chose this one because I love the game, obviously. And, I just look at YouTube as a job with unlimited raises. I mean, I can get unlimited raises with my job right now than I ever could with any other job. And for a year and a half, I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I'd go to work until 5, 6 o'clock sometimes. Then I would come home and I would record and edit a video, and I would be awake until 1 in the morning editing, and then I would lose sleep. And then I did that for as long as I could, and the whole time I was doing that, and it was hell for a year and a half. Just like, my family kind of had to take a back seat sometimes because I knew how important it was for me to get these videos up. And it was a tough decision, but I made the decision, and I always told myself, as soon as I start making this around the same amount of money in YouTube as I do my job, I'm going to quit my job. And I got to that point, and no one thought I was serious, and I just did it, and it's working out. It's working out. So I'm very, very thankful for everyone that watches my videos and tunes into the streams and does all that stuff. It's working out so far, but yeah, it is scary. And Jen, my girlfriend, she was scared too. She didn't think it was going to work, and then I had to kind of sit down with her and show her how it can work. And you can't play it too safe in life, because if I had played it safe and took the safe route, where would I be right now? I certainly wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. Right now, I would be just chilling, getting ready to go to bed so I can wake up and go to work again. Yeah. So I'm a firm believer in sometimes if the risk is worth the reward, what in the hell is the point in not at least trying to do it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not talented enough to quit my job yet and do that. But
you are. There's your first mistake. That's that mindset. You say I'm not. You say I'm not good enough to do that, when in reality you absolutely are. You are good enough to do that. But you just gotta. I mean, I'm not saying everyone is. Obviously, some people aren't. But you just gotta do it, man. And
yeah,
I don't know. I've always been I haven't always been the most positive person, but when it comes to me, like, I'm positive about. I know what I'm capable of. I know that if I believe in myself and I'm not saying this to sound cliche or nothing. I know it does, but this is truly how I feel. If I believe in myself, and I can absolutely do whatever the fuck I want to do. Mm-hmm. If I want to do it and I believe I can do it and I put the work in, it will happen. And that's kind of where I put my mindset at when I do anything. And I've always given up on everything. I've played in bands, I gave up on it. Stand-up comedy, gave up on it. I had a radio show before, I gave up on it. I had a podcast, I gave up on it. And I just made the decision to not give up on the YouTube shit. And I haven't given up. 2 years later, we're rolling along. So it's
yeah. Well, I am like my toughest critic, and I really need to stop putting myself down like that. But yeah, I've just had things in my life that I've had people, constantly put me down, and like, well, my ex-wife, she told me I failed at everything I did. So of course now she's
negative people is definitely something that I had to I don't mean to cut you off, but I had to do that too. I had to get away from negative people because when I first started doing this YouTube stuff, I was surrounded with negative people. Not just negative, like they would say negative things towards me that would discourage me from doing what I want to do. Not only that, but also negative in the way that, can't come over every Friday anymore and hang out because I have to get these videos done. And then them not understanding that and then guilt tripping you for not doing that. That negativity was dealt with too. And I made the decision to cut everyone out of my life. Mm-hmm. All my friends, I stopped hanging out with them. I only focused on YouTube and my family. And it was not an easy decision, but at the end of the day, man, you got to do that sometimes, especially people that are going to tell you, oh, what's the point of doing this? Like, what's the point of making all these videos? You're never going to be able to quit your job. You're never going to be able to make a living off this. So why are you wasting your time? It's like, I don't want to be around anyone that's going to say anything like that to me because I'm human too. I get discouraged when I hear stuff like that. And for me to be positive about what I want to do and what I'm capable of doing, it's not something that comes easy to me. I have to force myself to think that way. And if I wasn't consciously thinking about thinking that way, I would fall into the habit of being negative. And,
yeah.
It's all a thing for me.
So how did you come up with your nickname, RicksterGhost? How did that come about?
So it was right when I bought, I don't remember if it was PlayStation 2 or 3. I don't remember which one it was, but I was working at a grocery store and there was this one cashier dude that we were cool. We hung out outside of work and stuff. And one day I just walked up to him when he was bringing people out and I was like, hey, how you doing? How you doing today? And he just kept calling me RicksterGhost. And I kept asking him, I was like, what's that mean? And literally every time I would ask him what it meant, he would just go, RicksterGhost. I was like, yeah, but what is that? Like, why are you calling me that? And he'd be like, RicksterGhost. And he never explained it. And then that night, I was making a gamer tag for my new PlayStation 2. I don't remember which one it was, but I just typed in RicksterGhost. And it's been my gamer tag since, I can remember. And coming up with a YouTube name, first when I started YouTube, it was RicksterGhost Gaming. But after like a month, I was like, I don't like that. So I just changed it to RicksterGhost.
Yeah, I think when I tried to go as Dodger Man, but that was taken, so I was like, well, Dodger Man games, even though I only play basically one game. So yeah. Actually, I did play a little bit of was it Star Wars Battlefront? So I did a little bit.
Well, I can't wait. I mean, there's some games coming out that I can't. I mean, as soon I got Cyberpunk pre-ordered, as soon as Cyberpunk comes out. I mean, you're not going to see me streaming MLB The Show on Twitch for a while. I'm just going to be streaming that.
I would love to see a stream of that, definitely.
Yeah, I've even. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say I even started playing the Pokemon online game on my computer, so I was like, "Fuck, I might even stream some of that sometime." Yeah. But it's tough, especially when you're in the MLB The Show community, and no matter what anyone says, people can come on any podcast and sit here and say things like, "Oh, I'm just doing it for fun. I don't care about numbers." You do. So I get why you would say, "Oh, I don't care about numbers, just fun," but you care about numbers, and That's what it kind of worries me, because I mean I do care about numbers. I want to have good numbers. I want to make good money doing this. I'm not going to sit here and hide it and be like, oh, I'm just having fun. If it happens, it's like, no, I'm doing all this for a reason. I'm not doing all this for no reason. So when it comes to playing other games on Twitch, it kind of worries me, because I'm like, well, we can get 100 viewers playing baseball, or we can play this and get 20 viewers, and it's like, it's not the fact that I'm only playing in front of 20 people that kind of gets in my head. It's like, well, I'm trying to get Twitch partnership someday, so I don't want that to get in the way of a goal of mine.
Right.
At the end of the day, baseball is making me sick, and I'm going to play fucking other games on my Twitch.
Right. One of the series you do on YouTube is Ghost Games. Are you still doing that with your brother?
We haven't had a new Ghost Games in about 3 weeks, but he's working a lot of overtime right now, and we were doing the move, and we're just really busy right now. It's hard at the moment. It's because before, when we were doing Ghost Games, we were pumping one out every week for like 10, 13 weeks in a row right there. We were just right there. He wasn't working overtime. I was right. It was just really easy to do, so we did it. And now it's becoming to the part now where it's not as easy to get on the same schedule, because one day he'll be like, "Oh, I can record tonight," and I'm like, "Well, shit, I know I gotta take the girls to the dance class tonight." It just seems like these past couple weeks, it's always been something that's getting in the way of us recording another one. But by no means have we stopped. I mean, that's one of my most popular series on my channel, so definitely gonna be. We haven't stopped that yet. No, we're gonna keep going on that. But we both suck, so it's hard to upgrade the team.
Hey, shit, you're talking to the king of suck. Are you guys any more plans of maybe teleporting again anytime soon?
I don't know. See, when Kevin sits, I think he's understanding it more now that we've done 13 videos together, but I don't know. Like, when I'm recording a video, I'm already thinking about the editing process in my head, and I'm thinking about the pacing of the video, and I'm thinking about what the overall narrative of the video is going to be as I'm recording the video. So when it came to that teleport thing, he didn't understand what the fuck I was doing, dude. And I'm like, just go with me, man. Just go with me, all right? We'll snap our fingers, and then we'll switch seats, and we'll snap again. He's like, I mean, he kind of got it. Oh, you're going to make a cut here. But, yeah, I don't know, man. When it comes to the teleporting thing, I just want to... I always got to try new stuff, dude. I'm one of those guys, I cannot be a guy that does anything that anyone else is doing. Everything that I want to do, I have to put an original spin on it, or I'm not satisfied with it. Because, I mean, I do take this serious. Like, when it comes to my comedy and the things I say and put out there, I take it 100% serious. I'm not a kid or even a person that's just making videos to have fun and streaming to have fun. Like I said, I have a purpose for everything I'm trying to do. So I take it super serious, and I do stuff all the time. Like, my buddy Hoochie's been recording pack opening videos with me the past couple weeks, and he's kind of in the same boat. Like, what the fuck? Why are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, when you watch the video, you'll understand.
Yeah. And yeah, your pack opening videos are pretty successful too. I've been enjoying them. Trash, have you been watching any of them?
I watch a couple.
You watch a couple.
No, that's okay.
I'll be honest, no offense, Rickster. I am not a huge pack opening guy. I don't open a lot of packs anymore. I just never got into it. Like, with you though, and I'll try to say this as nicely as possible. That's bad or anything. It's what with your element of the whole comedy and all that, it adds a whole nother twist to what could be a very boring video.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Right. Exactly.
A lot of people will just do a regular pack opening. No offense to like Shelfie or anybody else out there. But like, you'll talk through a video. Well, okay, that's kind of boring and plain. You're just skimming through packs, just talking about whatever. And I think adding the element of comedy or just something else adds a great twist to it. Definitely, at least I'm one of those people that will definitely pick up on that and get more interested into it. So I definitely do recommend keep on doing that. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
If possible, just anybody out there, if you don't think you have a personality for comedy, give it a shot. See what happens. If you don't like it, okay, maybe change it up. But I definitely think comedy adds a whole nother level to any sort of content. and it just makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, and I'll just add something to that too. You will, and I've told you this before in the BR draft that you did for me. You will take something like a woman behind the plate holding a pretzel, something I would never even notice, and do like a little 5-minute bit on the woman holding a pretzel, and I'm like, that is genius. That is genius. And like, they have a pretzel holder, and I'm like dying. Oh my! It just works
out sometimes. It's like, it's my mind when I record a video. Like I said earlier, I don't want to be just a person playing a game. I want to create a piece of art. I want to create something that I'm proud of, something that people want to watch. I want to get my YouTube analytics. I want to get my watch time up so the YouTube pushes my videos out more. So the whole time I'm playing a game or I'm opening packs, I'm constantly in my head, man. I'm an overthinker, and I'm always in my own head, and I'm always thinking, okay, this video probably is a little slow at this point. I got to do something right now to create a moment for this video. So like the lady with the pretzel. Yeah, it's just a lady that she, the game glitches and she puts her pretzel nowhere and just floats there for a second because they didn't really care about fixing it because it doesn't matter, right? And it's just a little thing, and I say, okay, I got to create a moment out of this, and I'll comment on it, I'll talk about it, and then I'll do a call back to it later in the video if it's possible. But with the mindset that I have when I go into creating videos, it's constantly create a moment. Create a memorable moment. Create a moment. Oh, things are too slow right now. The last 4 outs you just said out number 1, out number 2, or just little things. Okay, now you absolutely have to talk about something right now. And it's about pacing. Mm-hmm. I studied a lot about how to pace a video. And my goal when I create videos is I want to make a 15-minute video. I want that 15-minute video to feel like it only took 10 minutes to watch. I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to YouTube, and especially in this MLB The Show community where what are we doing? We're all making the same video over and over every day. If you think about it, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you got guys like Ansel Armstrong. You got other guys that actually do like deep dive. They can make new other videos about how to get the most stubs or what to do here, or you got guys like Seabrev that just completely like mind fuck the shit out of the game and really break it apart. Mm-hmm. But for the most of us content creators, we're making the same video every single day, and I just gotta find new ways to not be bored with it and try my hardest to make it as entertaining as possible.
Yeah, well, you definitely do that, and now I look at players, their faces in the cards, and I'm something will come up in my mind. I'm like, oh, well, he must have had a bad day when he took that picture, or something. Yeah. Or just like, I can't remember who it was, but you said something about one of the guys were like, well, that guy will steal your girlfriend. And I'm like,
yeah, well, heartthrob.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's genius. Oh, that's so genius. But yeah,
yeah, my mind is 100 miles an hour, so I literally, like, if you guys saw some of the stuff I have to cut out of my videos when I'm editing, it's like, okay, I don't know why I said that. I got to cut that out. It's just, I just go, I'm kind of like this in real life. My mouth has definitely got me in trouble sometimes. I'm a very opinionated person. I like to say my opinion on things, and I'm one of those guys that I definitely don't think before I speak. So there's a lot of parts of my videos where I absolutely have to edit it out.
Okay, I got an idea here. RicksterGhost, the director's cut for one of your videos. Well, all the little.
You know what that would be though? It would be me talking. It would be me stuttering over my words. It would be a lot of ums, because when I'm editing, I take all my ums out. Like if I'm like I try, if I can, I cut that out completely. And to go back with what we were talking about earlier, when I said that I try to make a 15-minute video feel like a 10-minute video when you're watching it, that's just all those quick cuts. Like if you watch my video, there's never going to be 30 seconds of the video where you're watching and there hasn't been 2 or 3 cuts. When I go and edit a video, every little piece of audio that's missing in that video, even if it's a half of a second, I cut it out. And it takes longer to edit the videos, but for me and the way I like to make videos, I think it's worth it to to cut out all the fat and just leave it in the good stuff to get that watch time up, because that's how you grow on YouTube, is you have good watch time.
Yeah, that's good. Let me write that down somewhere. Oh, I don't have my pen. Okay, that's all right.
I'll DM you.
That's right. Let's see. What? I know we asked this question of all of our guests. What is one player that you were pleasantly surprised by, and what was one player that you were disappointed by from the Cardinals this year?
Oh boy, I would say one person that I am surprised by this year would have been Giovanni Gallegos.
Ooh, yeah,
and I always knew that his stuff. I always knew his stuff was good. Just watching the way that he was pitching this year, man, it was impressive. And there was a lot of times where I was watching Cardinal games this year, and I was like, wow, this guy, he's a lot better than I thought he was. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's no Chapman or nothing like that. He's no, maybe someday, but I would say that would be one player that definitely didn't think would do as well as they did. Very surprising. And then on the other side, Paul DeYoung. Mm-hmm. I think that he didn't have the greatest year this year, and I was surprised by that. Yeah, I thought that he was going to have a great year this year. I know COVID and the shortened season took everyone's plans and kind of threw a curveball at them, to throw in a baseball reference here. But so I don't know. I don't know if you can even count this season when it comes to what players did. Everyone was in a different mind state than they've ever been in before. But yeah, Paul DeYoung is one of those guys that I just wish he would have. I want this guy to be a Juan Soto son. I want him to be the man, but it was a bad year.
Yeah. What was okay? Okay. Let me try to get that out again. When I talked to you in stream, you said you were about was it an hour and 20 minutes away from St. Louis?
Oh, I am 10 minutes away from St. Louis.
Oh, 10 minutes away. Well, okay, we were talking about Fort Leonard Wood. I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. I can see the arch in my backyard.
Have you ever been to the arch, or been inside it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
St. Louis is good shit.
Yeah, I mean, they have probably some of the best barbecue, I would imagine, too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, downtown St. Louis is one of my favorite spots in the world. I always said to myself, like, kind of this suburban thing I'm in right now. I either want to live in a big city like St. Louis, or you put me out in the country where there's no neighbors at all. That's where I want to live. I either want to live in a city or around nobody. I'm tired of this middle, suburban thing. But dude, St. Louis, every chance I get to go to downtown St. Louis, I take it. It's just so many great food options. It is dangerous at times. I mean, St. Louis is one of the more dangerous cities in this country for a reason. Yes, but I feel like if you're not an idiot and you can be vigilant and you can see with your eyes where not to go or people to keep an eye on, the people that walk, dude, some of the nicest people that I've ever met, like just. Especially on a Cardinal game day, it's just like sea of red just crossing the streets. Because if you're going to go to a Cardinal game, and if you don't want to spend, I'm sure this is like this everywhere, but if you don't want to spend $45 for parking, you're parking on the other side of the city, and you're still paying $20, and then you're walking 17 blocks to the stadium. St. Louis isn't a big city, really, so it's convenient, and just like driving downtown St. Louis before a Cardinal game or after a Cardinal game, it's just so many people wearing red, and everyone's friendly and happy, and I love it, dude. And like you said, the barbecue down there I haven't had a lot of barbecue from all over the country, so I don't have anything to really compare it to, but it's fucking good.
Yeah, I've been to St. Louis once, but it was only in the airport. I flew into St. Louis, and I unfortunately didn't get a chance to go outside and check out the city. Yeah, and I really kind of missed out there, but yeah. But this was when I flew into St. Louis. It was at night.
Did you fly in Lambert?
What's
Did
that?
you go into Lambert? Did you fly into Lambert Airport or downtown?
I don't remember. I mean, when I was there, it was in when I flew into St. Louis. This was in '92,
Okay.
and I was like, oh gosh, how old was I? '92. That would make me. I was like, I want to say 24 years old. I was actually 23, and yeah, at like 8 o'clock at night, I was scared to death. I was going into the army, going into basic training. I had no idea what to expect, and then when I left, it was pretty much the same thing. It was taking the bus, you know, in the like 5, 6 o'clock at night, and yeah, but the weather, it wasn't too bad. It was like in November, it got pretty cold, but you know, thankfully, wasn't too unbearable. I remember vividly. I'll talk about this briefly. We had part of our training in basic was to like camp out. You know, we had like a little tent, and we had to sleep. Usually, you would sleep 2 people in a tent, but since I didn't have what they call a battle buddy because there was an odd amount of people in my platoon, we had to make a little threesome, if you call it, in a tent. And I'm telling you what, that was probably one of the most uncomfortable moments because it was raining and we had a little river going right in the middle of our tent. And I was soaking wet and cold. And yeah, I just, I kind of shudder just thinking about it. But yeah, but I really wish I would have been able to see more of the town. Now, is it Missouri or Missouri? Because I can't. I don't know.
It's Missouri.
Missouri. Why do they call it Missouri? Who calls it Missouri?
I've heard a couple people call it Missouri, but if you're asking me, I'm not 100% sure if it's Missouri or Missouri, to be honest with you. But I go with Missouri because that's what literally 99% of the people around this area call it. So it's got to be right, huh?
Because
I've only heard a few people call it.
I always thought that maybe it was people that from outside of Missouri called it Missouri, and only true Missourians call it Missouri.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably exactly what the case is.
Were you born?
Yeah, I mean, I was born. So I live on the Illinois side of Missouri. I'm like and 15 minutes tops away from downtown St. Louis, and I've been in this area my whole life. We've lived in a couple different cities around this area, but it's just always been the Midwest for me. And I can remember even when I was a little kid, my dad has worked in Missouri since I've been a kid. He's had the same job for 40 years now. So there's plenty of trips across the river into Missouri when I was little. And seeing the old Busch Stadium there with the circular design and stuff, it's like I said, I love Missouri, and I'll defend my city. Even though St. Louis isn't my city, I claim it 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of memories of watching games on TV between the Dodgers and the Cardinals, and I've told you about this before too. Ozzie Smith, when he hit that homer in the playoffs, that just tore my heart out, and yeah. Anyway.
Well, also that's like our us Cardinal fans. That's one of our all-time memories. You know, go crazy, folks. It's
Jack Clark.
Even tougher.
Yeah. No, not Jack Clark, but Jack Buck. Yes, Jack Buck was one of the most amazing announcers. How do you feel about Joe Buck?
I don't know. I don't have a problem with the guy at all. Everyone hates him. And I don't understand. He definitely says some stuff sometimes, and as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, shut up, dude, just move on. But
Yeah, I think he hates.
Yeah, the guy catches a horrible rep, and I don't understand why.
Well, I think part of the thing is, uh, It seems like he just loves whatever team the Dodgers are playing. He'll like overhype that other team, and just not give anybody on the Dodgers enough. Well, as much credit. It just seems like he's always kind of biased towards that team. In fact, I noticed something when the Dodgers won the World Series. It almost seemed like he was a little disappointed, because I remember, was it last year? I can't even remember who won the World Series last year.
Last year?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, who?
Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I see. This is when you turn 52 or something, your mind just starts to go. But yeah, when the Nationals won, when the Cubs won, he was just so excited and stuff. And then when the Dodgers won, and just kind of, it was almost like an inconvenience that he had to announce it, like it was, I don't know, like it was just kind of sticking in his craw that he had to say the Dodgers were world champions. I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't like the Dodgers.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Well, I'm sure that's because he probably grew up in St. Louis, and the Dodgers and Cardinals have that big a rivalry and stuff. So anyway, well, Ricky, I thank you so much, man. I don't want to keep you any longer than we have to, but I just want to say, from Trash and Me, in the times that we're going through right now, thank you so much for giving us that the humor. Thank you for your videos that kind of take our mind off of the problems that we're dealing. That is, I've told you that before, but I want to just say thank you again for your content, for your hilarious content, and it's such a escape for a lot of us after a long day of doing what we do and going through what we have to go through to watch your videos and to have our minds taken away from the problems going on and having that levity. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and also I appreciate you guys too for enjoying the videos and liking them. And I hear Kevin God say this a couple of times. It's like he's like, I don't know why people like my videos. I mean, I work hard on them, but at the end of the day, dude, when people show me that they're passionate about my videos, and then I hear nice things like you just said, it means a lot to me, man. It takes something that originally started off as me just being, hey, man, maybe even greedy, maybe even being like, hey, man, I'm going to do this YouTube channel. I'm going to make some money off it. I'm going to make this my career. It takes it from that and turns it into something that is more powerful and something that I didn't expect my videos to do at all, which is what you just explained. It helps people release from the pressures of life and stuff. So that's something that came out of left field for me that I didn't see coming, but now that I'm hearing it from people, it gives what I'm doing a whole new meaning, and I truly am honestly appreciative of every single person that has even so much as commented on a video or even watched it. It means a lot to me, man. That's no one's ever been this nice to me my whole life, and the MLB, the show community, has been since I became a part of it. So I appreciate the shit out of everyone, that's gave me the time of day. And to the people that don't, fuck off.
and when I resub, I will hit you with the tier 3 resub, man. I want to be the first one with that emote, man. I want to be the first one to post that in your chat. Okay, Trash. Why don't you go ahead and give us the football scores, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay, so let's see. We'll start here. And for all you Jets fans, I'm sorry.
Oh, one of you?
You might want to get a better football team or do something because y'all, this ain't y'all season. Y'all are falling to pieces and ay.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that being said, they fall to the Dolphins 20-3, which means the Jets are 0-11. Like,
They're doing the Dolphins season
Lions
in
thing,
reverse. The 1972 Dolphins season in reverse.
Alright, let's see. We have the Cardinals and Patriots. Patriots win 20-17.
Ooh.
Now this game I watched, and now if you haven't watched it, y'all missed a really, really, really good game. Panthers Vikings. That game had me worried. But for Teddy Bridgewater's return to Minneapolis, put on a really good game. There were there are a lot of moments where I got scared that we were going to lose that game. Thankfully, we didn't. We escaped that game 28-27. And thank you, whatever the kicker's name is, the Panthers missed the game-winning field goal. So I'm like, oh man, I screamed at the top of my lungs. I'm like, oh no, I gotta go text my buddy. I'm like, hey, sorry to be a Panther fan.
It's too bad the 49ers couldn't do that.
We'll get there.
Oh, here we go.
This one was interesting. Browns Jaguars. The Browns sneak out 27-25. Titans win 45-26. Bengals Giants 19, Bengals 17. Bills Chargers. Bills win 27-17.
Ooh.
Falcons mollywop the Raiders 43-6.
Yeah. Wow.
And now it's a rubbing for you.
Oh, yeah.
The Niners lose, excuse me. The Niners beat the Rams 23-20 on a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers could be like the worst team and still play the Rams really well and kick their butts. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
That was one of the only football games I've ever went to when the Rams were in St. Louis. It was the Rams versus the 49ers Monday Night Football, and we got absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they going to be using Edward Jones Stadium anymore, or is?
We were using it for Battlehawks games, and the XFL kind of dipped. But apparently, The Rock bought the XFL and a couple other people, so it's going to come back.
That's right. And
St. Louis had the best numbers out of any team because we're a sports city, and Cronky or whoever is responsible for sitting here saying that we're not a football town is they're full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about, and I think that St. Louis proved that when the Battlehawks came to town.
Yeah, even when when St. Louis had the Cardinals, the football Cardinals, I mean they always packed the stadium, their old Busch Stadium. So anyway, well that's gonna do it for.
Yeah, we have high standards.
Oh, what's that?
So we have high standards here in St. Louis.
That's exactly
we take
right.
pride in our.
It's all about the pride, St. Louis pride. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodger and Trash podcast. Thanks again to RicksterGhost for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time. Peace, love, and baseball, everyone. We'll see you next time. We're out.